Welcome back to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. For you students, I guess, what do you have, 2-3 weeks left before school starts? Make sure you enjoy it. Make sure you get involved with an environmental club or maybe inspire your school to have one. Kay Schwank organized a field day and everybody had a blast. How many kids and how do you have them rotating throughout the morning?
So we have close to I think it's 95 I think they're all here, and they are divided up into 6 groups with a teacher chaperone, and actually our principal is also here today with one of the groups because he was really excited about this event. They will rotate in 25-minute intervals from station to station. I believe the first station is the bucket casting competition. And then we're going to be planting some seedlings through the Seedlings for School program, which we got the seedlings from the Pennsylvania Game Commission.
So, Alexa, what's the chances of these things actually growing? I mean, they've been transported in a box. They look like a stick with some things hanging out the bottom.
Yeah.
They could catch, right?
Yeah, so if they're planted correctly, they can definitely grow in here. Like we said, the ground's a little bit compacted here, but trees are pretty resilient. I think they'll be able to grow as long as the deer don't come through and mow them down right away.
Chew them right up, right?
Yeah, which sometimes happens, but we do a lot of tree plantings throughout the county, and we have a pretty good success rate.
You do?
Yeah, with the bare root seedlings. So
today is all about the kids. They're going to walk away saying, I planted a tree.
Yeah.
A lot of them have never had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, yep. If anybody really wants to get in there, you could use the pickaxe a little bit, but you got a pretty good hole there.
Is it deep enough?
Yeah, I think you could try and put in, you got a good hole, so probably the one even with the longer roots, you can get in there. And then remember, like Wayne said, where you want to have that positioned, and then get the dirt back in there to fill in that hole.
It's not brain surgery, but it's sort of got to have to be done right?
Yeah. Yep, like we said, you want to make sure, I mean, we have seen sometimes the trees go in upside down, sideways.
In the Schuylkill Haven would plant them upside down?
I don't think these kids would do that, but we have seen that. So yeah, like I said, trees are pretty resilient, so they'll, even if they're planted in there sideways, they can right themselves.
They can do it. Well, that's just awesome.
Yep. And then
Your
you
turn.
do the little tug test and make sure it's in there. Yep, that looks good.
What's the idea here?
So this is a fun station, but a lot of our students have never cast a line.
Right.
So this is our bucket casting competition station. And so they're trying to get the cast into the bucket, and then there will be prizes after lunch from Cabela's that we'll be giving out. So it's kind of fun because some students that do fish will struggle, other people that have never, get it in, and some just can't get the hang of it.
Can't get the hang of it.
So it's a fun station.
Let's get it in the bucket. Oh, very close. Are you ready?
Oh, let's try
on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Oh, there's one down there.
Was that Trent?
That was that Trent. Good
Woo,
job.
He's our big fisherman.
He's the fisherman.
I would expect Trent to get
and the rest of you guys are going hungry.
Oh,
there's
yes,
another one,
Sam.
Boom. Come on, give it a shot. Let's go. The students were also treated to a fly tying lesson, and they even learned a few knots along the way, all compliments of the Schuylkill County Trout Unlimited. Porcupine Pat from the Schuylkill County Conservation District was on hand to take the students on a nature hike and a lesson about the importance of the watershed. Pennsylvania Game Commission Warden McCunis set up another one of the stations for the students. He talked about wildlife and some of the research going on here in the state. Barb Kilmer of Cabela's and Bass Pro Shop, along with Cook's Archery and Taxidermy, were on hand to man the archery system.
In 2019, we had given the Schuylkill Haven School District a $5,000 grant from our Bass Pro Shop Cabela's Outdoor Fund. And what they did with that is promoted their Trout in the Classroom program, did a fantastic job. We've worked with Kay Schwank over the past few years, and today we're here with them with our archery, teaching them a little bit about archery. So what we do, we take the bow like this. We're going to put the arrow on here. We're going to hook the nock right into this part here, okay? What I do, I put your fingertips, not your whole finger because you're going to hurt that. Fingertips, 1, 2, 3 fingers. You're going to pull this back. You're going to straight pull this. You're going to line this up at your face, close to your eye. Watch where you're shooting and shoot, okay? When I put this down and I pull back and I pull straight back with a straight arm, you're going to have as much tension as you can here. When I do this, normally I do a silent count to myself. 1, 2, 3, and I release. When I release that, arrow's gonna fly. I'm gonna do that slowly, okay? So we're gonna put the arrow there for you.
Do you enjoy this outreach for kids?
Absolutely. This is probably the most fulfilling part of my job. I do all of the special events at our Cabela's store, but truthfully, being with the kids is the most fulfilling part of my job.
Tell me about this machine. They're shooting at a ball that's floating, right?
It is. It is it's all air. Giant, like if you think of your kids in the balloon, the ball houses and all that, it's basically the same concept. The air that's coming out, the balls float in the air, and they just shoot at that. It's safe. It's a little rubber arrow that they're shooting with. Very, very safe, but it's just teaching the mechanics of it. It's not a high-end like a Genesis bow. It's a very inexpensive kids type bow. It's just teaching them the mechanics.
And a lot of these kids, it's the first and it may be the last, who knows, that
Possibly.
they've ever handled a bow and arrow.
Possibly, maybe it'll be a start of an archery in the school program for Schuylkill Haven, who knows?
Yeah, if you may create enough interest.
Possibly. That would be a great goal.
Kate, thanks for your involvement and thanks for the hat. She sent it myself and producer Brian a Pennsylvania Outdoor Life hat. Thank you very much for that. Now we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to take a look at a local state park. So stick around.